Hi, and welcome to the weekly general reading. My name is Cassie, and I'm the reader behind MomentsAre. So, we're going to be looking at the next 7 days, all right? No matter what time this video went up, this will apply to the next 7 days. So we're going to be looking for themes, motifs, what relationship dynamics might be coming up, things having to do with any area of your life. Hopefully we'll be making some predictions, telling you some things to look out for, and also giving you some really great advice for the next 7 days. So yeah, this is a timeless video, so whenever you watch it, just apply that to the next 7 days. I do post these every Monday, so if you don't want to miss one, go ahead and subscribe. All right, everything you need to know about me is in the description, and let's go ahead and name the piles. Pile number 1 is a blue butterfly. Pile number 2 is a pink butterfly. Pile number 3 is a purple butterfly. Pile number 4 is a red butterfly. Pile number 5 is the green butterfly, and pile number 6 is the white butterfly. So if you have not picked your pile, go ahead and pause the video. Otherwise, we are going to be starting with pile number 1. Hi, those of you who picked the blue butterfly, here's your reading. All right, so we have the 5 of Swords, the King of Swords, okay. Temperance, blow off some steam. All right, I'm just thinking about how I laid these down. Okay, so the ring is first, followed by the tree. Okay, and foundation and achievements. Okay, so it looks like right now, yeah, it's not going to be the best week when it comes to communication in your personal life, like with your friends, maybe even with your romantic partner. It just doesn't feel like it's as clear. Okay, it feels like there's going to be. If there is some arguments, or I'm sorry, if there is some communication, there will be some bickering, and there might be some hurt feelings. Okay, and I feel like this would be coming from both you and the people around you. Okay, it's not just on one side, basically. So and I'm getting this from the 5 of Swords. Okay, so I'm just letting you know why I'm getting that. Now the King of Swords also shows that you're going to be thinking pretty clearly. You're going to have a pretty good mastery of what's going on inside of your head. You're not going to be feeling real anxious. You're not going to be feeling, or if you do feel anxious, it's going to be lower than what you would typically experience. And also, you will notice it when you're talking to people who are not on a personal level. So, for example, somebody maybe at school or work, or maybe strangers. If I don't know if some of you are, professional speakers, or public speakers, or that kind of thing. That'll be fine. You'll be able to get your message across. It's in interpersonal, like one-on-one relationships. That's where where there'll be strain. But again, a lot of ideas, and I feel like there's going to be some kind of transformation in your ideas, okay, as well. Like there's going to be some kind of change. I don't want to say on a belief, okay, but there's going to be some change in, it's like you're going to think about one way to solve a problem. Might be better if you did it a different way, and it's going to be better. So it's good. The King of Swords talks about mastery over thoughts. Okay. Yes, there is that element of communication, but it's less on that personal one-on-one level, the way that the 5 of Swords talks about. Temperance, it's just basically your advice about this. Just be aware that that's the kind of dynamic that's going on for you this week, and try to throw in some more warmth into how you're approaching other people if this is something that you can't really avoid. It also talks about being aware that the other person might be just having some, yucky stuff going on in their life as well, okay? Or just be in that frame of mind where they're just uptight, having some issues. Another thing about the Temperance card is that it does warn towards excess. I like when I'm saying this, I'm feeling that only a few people who is watching this particular reading is going to really get anything out of that particular message. But do keep that in mind. It does warn towards excess. So be careful in, for example, how much money you spend this week, and how much you eat, for example. Even even how much you exercise, even too much of a good thing, that kind of thing, just be very aware of being very balanced, for every time you exercise, make sure you're getting some rest, so, keep that in mind. Kind of goes with this kind of cloudy feeling here. We have blow off some steam, really writing, any kind of creative endeavor can be great for that. Another thing can be just participating in kind of a healthy debate. Some people really don't like that, and they feel like debate is very confrontational. Some people love it. So, I understand some of you guys are going to be like, ooh, I don't want to do that. But for those of you who that helps, that would be a really great way to channel that kind of, it just feels real edgy, So another thing to kind of go with the King of Swords here is that we do have foundation and achievements. Whatever you're building right now for yourself, and I don't mean necessarily literally, it can be a metaphorical building, but whatever you're building for yourself when it comes to your career or your school, you're doing a really good job, okay? So just understand that you will get success from this if it's not this week, because I really actually feel like this is kind of in either the beginning or middle stage, this will pay off. Whatever you're working on now will pay off in the long run when it comes to your vocation. And for those of you who are retired, it's the same thing. Whatever you're putting your energy into right now, understand that it will end up serving you in a good way somehow in the future. So this is interesting because we're talking about some kind of cycle that has to do with most likely your health. It could be a family cycle because the family tree is one way of reading this, but I feel like it has to do with health. It's like cycles as far as like energy levels, that kind of thing. I'm not getting anything really, really specific here, and that's frustrating for me because I want to be more specific, but there's some kind of thing that happens to you in cycles. Maybe, for example, if you're like me, you have to see your doctor once every 3 months just to be monitored because maybe you're on medication or something like that. And it's going to be time for that this week or soon, you need to make that appointment. For some of you, it might just be like, oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. That has to do with my sleep cycles. That has to do with my eating cycles. That has to do with this new diet I'm starting or whatever it is. Just know there's something having to do with cycles and health. And what I'm getting is just understand that it's gonna, like, if this cycle is going right now in kind of a negative swing. So for example, if you're the kind of person, like for me, in like a month period of time, my sleeping is very, very different at one time of the month than it is at a different time. Okay. And I've just learned that that's the way I am. So for some of you, like, if it seems excessive, this particular cycle right now that might be affecting you this week, understand that it's just your body regulating itself, okay? I really feel like that's what it is if it's not needing to make an appointment with the doctor, okay? Of course, I can't give you medical advice. I'm not a doctor, so please don't take this as like 100% medical advice. Just be aware of your body, is what that's letting me know. Sometimes the tree can represent the brain. I don't feel like it is that in this particular time, but for those of you who are like me and need to take medicine to maintain, to manage a mental illness, just be very aware of making sure you're taking your medicine on time, because that's another thing that I'm getting from this is just making sure that you've got that routine. Okay. Yeah, your advice, I just want to make sure that I focus on this too. Your advice is blowing off steam. Okay. So this can, and it's something I did not mention. This can also look like, just getting moving, getting out and, maybe running, jogging. I had mentioned exercise earlier. That might be another way to blow off steam. Just whatever it is that you need to do. Or it could be a down regulating thing. Something like, taking a spa day, or even going to bed an hour early, something like that. Just keep in mind that you might be feeling a little edgy this week, and that could, I don't feel like it's a major impact. We don't have a major arcana card associated with this so much. We do have the major arcana card talking about balance, but I don't feel like it's going to be a major area of this week, but it's just going to be something that'll be coming up, and it might be a little irritating for you. So just keep it in mind, okay, guys? It doesn't look like there's anything major happening this week, so you'll have a pretty you'll have a pretty chill week. But do understand that you're working towards something very good for you, okay? With this foundation and achievements card, okay? There's some kind of like ultimate promise that's waiting for you there, okay? So that looks really good. Regardless of what the cards say, I hope you have a really wonderful week. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you on Wednesday with Pick a Card reading. Hi, those of you who picked the pink butterfly, here is your reading. All right, so this is a very interesting, okay, I'm just going to put it out there. This is going to be a really confusing reading for you guys. I just looked at the cards. It's going to be confusing. Please I'm going to lay out the cards, and as I do it, don't freak out. Just know that, you're going to be fine. So we have the Two of Cups. That's awesome. We have the Ten of Swords. I know that looks scary. We also have the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, we have the Ship and the Book. We have Spiritual Union. I want to point out the 2 here. This would be the Two of Cups. You see the cup right here? This would be the equivalent of the Two of Cups, only this is a different deck, okay? This is a non-traditional tarot deck, so we're going to be reading it as Spiritual Union. Just understand the Two of Cups has now come up twice for you guys, okay? Now here's where the confusion comes on. We have this card, and it's like, I always call this the passive-aggressive card of this deck. It is, and I'm holding it upside down, it's get over yourself. Isn't that a nice message, right? I just want to, it's almost like I want to start here because I don't want you guys to be worried about this while we're going through this. And this is your advice card too. So it's like, wow, that's nice, right? So the get over yourself card is basically just understanding that you've got to see beyond just what your own beliefs and your own ideas are in the situation. You might have this certain idea of where you want to be in whatever areas you are in this week, okay? You might have this idea that, for example, in order for you to get from point A to point C, that you have to do B. And it might actually be that, no, you go from point A to point C and you just skip B entirely, right? It might be that it's like you feel like if you go from point A to point C, then all you're going to have to do is B. Well, it might actually mean that you have to do B, E, F, and then Z, and then come back to C, okay? Basically, what I'm trying to tell you is that things aren't going to be going the way that maybe you're thinking they will. Another thing to think about with the get over yourself when it comes to the Two of Cups too, we are talking about mirroring. I mean, obviously, this is a really great mirroring card, right? And it can show us that when we are doing things ourselves, that are when we are focusing on our other person's issues, it almost puts us in a blind spot to be able to see our own issues, okay? And if you are noticing that your person is doing something, and this would be in a love relationship, most likely, okay? It could be a business partnership, could be a really, really close friendship, but most likely this is a love relationship or somebody you have feelings for, somebody you have a crush on, that kind of stuff. If you're finding that you're taking issue with that person, it could be that there's actually something about that issue with your person that's kind of a reflection to something you're doing yourself, okay? So be aware of the idea that, as Carl Jung mentioned in one of his many books, that the things that irritate us the most about other people are the things that we need to change most in ourselves. That might not be a direct quote, but that's the sentiment there. Okay? And so understand that as you're looking at your partner, the things that you really might have issues with, maybe that's a clue into something you need to work on. Similarly, okay, this has a positive thing too going on. It could be that the things that you're seeing in your partner that you think are so great, those things are things that you have, and maybe you're not giving yourself that benefit. Maybe you're overlooking your really, really great, amazing qualities, okay? So please understand that, you know, if you feel like you're really hung up on yourself as being a certain way and that isn't serving you anymore, it could be that you're thinking very, very negative thoughts about yourself and you're actually so much better than what you might think you are, okay? One thing I can say is each and every one of you, no matter who you are watching this, you have your own thing to do in this world, okay? And you can only do that by being yourself. And the more you know yourself and the more you know how you affect other people for the better of a positive force you can be in other people's life and the better of a positive force you can be in your own life. Now that's just, you know, people talk about, you know, people who are readers that might make blanket statements. That is a blanket statement. It is true of every single individual, okay? But yeah, get as in tune as possible with yourself. If it's hard for you to see that, use your partner, use the people that you admire to see, you know, what you're drawn to, and use that as a map, okay? So that's your advice. Now let's do the reading, okay? So we've got the Two of Cups twice. I really feel like right now is a really, really good time for you to come together with someone. I understand that if you're watching this the day it goes up, this is the day after Valentine's Day. It seems appropriate, right? Or it could be that, of course, the day after Valentine's Day or the week after Valentine's Day would be the time that you'd meet that special someone if you don't have someone like that in your life right now. This is a really auspicious time for business partnerships. It's also a really auspicious time for friendships. If maybe you have not heard from somebody that you hold in your heart very strongly, this could be any kind of relationship, even like a parent-child relationship or cousins or brother and sister, you know, that kind of thing. You might hear from them this week, okay? Because this is a time where people are coming together for you, okay? One thing here is that we also have a lot of abundance. So these cards are really, really, really great. Letting us know that you are going to have a very, very busy and a very, very happy week when it comes to your interpersonal relationships, your relationships with other people, and most likely even your relationship with yourself, okay? Because you're going to be doing a lot of growth this week. One thing that we're getting warned about, though, is that you might feel like you are... This card can come up in so many ways, right? Because we have two such strong cards here, okay? I really feel like this is not going to be coming up as a betrayal, and I don't feel like it's coming up as pain in the sense of emotional pain, okay? Because the Two of Cups are very emotionally pure, very emotionally happy cards, right? I really feel like this has to do with some of you guys might be people pleasers. You might be trying to bend over backwards for your partner, for your, business partner, for your colleague, for your friends, for your teacher, for your boss, whoever it is, okay? And you'll just exhaust yourself because maybe you're not giving enough time to yourself, right? So, again, when we say get over yourself, we can also talk about get over your habits, right? So there's a lot of different layers to this very passive aggressive card here. So on the one hand, I feel like for some of you guys, that's going to resonate, okay? It's going to be about people pleasing. It's going to be a warning that you're going to really fall flat on your face and not have a whole lot of energy if you keep neglecting yourself, okay? Now, for the rest of you, I think that what this is coming up as is just that you're going to be very busy this week, and you've got to make sure that you are taking care of yourself, okay? wow, I don't usually get this, but I actually just got a third interpretation. Some of you guys might have back pain. You might want to be very, very careful about lifting this week. I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. Just pretend I'm your friend and I'm saying, hey, you know what? If you have back pain, don't lift. Because you know what? I have back pain. And when sometimes I forget that it can flare up kind of chronically, and I'll just go around and be like, you know what? I'm going to lift this heavy thing. And then I'm like, wait, why did I do that? And then for the next 3 days, I'm basically, feeling like, well, not that bad, but I'm feeling pretty bad and I want to lie down, a lot of the time and stuff like that. So yeah, be aware of that. Don't put any extra strain on your back, even for those of you who don't have, I would say be careful about lifting, especially. I'm just getting that like heavy lifting can be an issue this week. Okay, so here's something completely different here with the ship in the book. I love this one too. I love it when the book comes up, and it's not just because I love reading books as well as cards, but it's just, I love it when the book comes up because I'm always curious as to what this is going to be. And seriously, I ask people, like, comment and tell me, like, seriously, if this, when this happens, right, I'd be really interested to know. If you don't want to comment publicly, you can send me an email. My email's down below, but basically it's like it's been a long time coming and you're finally going to get some answers about something. Okay. And this is like something that you have been like hung up on. And I want to make sure that I'm not putting too much weight on this. This could be something as simple and as irritating as it might be. It could be something as simple as like knowing this song and you keep getting it stuck in your head, but you don't know the name of it, and it's been like years and you still can't figure out the name of it, and finally you find it this week, right? Or it could be something really big, like you've been searching for a very definite answer to a question, and it's like all of a sudden going to reveal itself. It might even be connected to this, just given that this is such a focus this week for you. It's coming up twice. It's like not only is the Two of Cups, but you know what, also the Two of Cups. I mean, it's magnifies this energy so much. So yeah, look for some secrets being revealed, a mystery revealing itself to you. I feel like it's going to be more profound than finding out the name of a song. Although if you're like me and you have that kind of thing where you remember things and it's like you cannot figure out the name of it, and that is a profound experience if you're like me. But I mean, really, I'm trying to be lighthearted about it, but really this could be a very profound experience for you. This week looks great. Just be aware of overworking yourself, okay? Be aware of being very, very accommodating for other people. It's okay to say no. It's okay to cancel plans. It's okay. Just, try to reschedule, if you do, and yeah, please don't take this as being too passive aggressive. Understand it's the card that came up. It's not the one that I picked, like, consciously for you guys, okay? But yeah, regardless of what the cards say, I hope you have a wonderful week, and I look forward to seeing you guys on Wednesday. Hope you really enjoyed your reading. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hi, those of you who picked the purple butterfly, here's your reading. Okay, so we have the Page of Wands, the World, okay, and the Three of Pentacles. How interesting. I feel like the Three of Pentacles and the World came up recently in another reading. Oh, wow, we have Transformation. Okay, we have Luck. And, oh, I'm sorry, this goes first. Sorry, we've got the Mountain followed by the Clover, and then we have Celebrate Yourself. Celebrate You. Just want to hold this up. And you know what? When I was pulling out the cards, I was like, I've got this. I'll just show it to you, okay? I've got like all of these cards, right? And I was pulling them, and I was like, I bet that Celebrate You is going to be coming up this time. And I have no idea why I thought that, but it looks like I was right. So yeah, this really looks like a big week for you. Not because necessarily, not just because there's two major arcana cards, not just because this is kind of all over the place, but just because there are a lot of things are going to be accomplished this week for you, and they're going to be big, okay? The Transformation card, number 13, this is it's a big deal. You are, when we talk about transformations, and we talk about it in a symbolic way, in an archetypal way, what we're talking about is not necessarily, we're not talking about a literal transformation like in Kafka, right? Okay, not like the Metamorphosis. We're not talking that you're literally going to turn into a bug, for those of you who know that book. But we're talking about getting to a different place, either emotionally, mentally, psychologically, spiritually, or all of them. Okay, it can even mean a physical transformation, yes, but you're not going to turn into a bug. It might mean that you start exercising or something like that. But this transformation is leading to something very, very positive. It's going to be giving you a lot more hope. It's going to be giving you a lot more strength. You're gonna notice that a lot of new things are going to be coming in, and it's almost like a flood of new things. And I feel like starting with this card, I usually start with these, but starting with this card is the most appropriate card to start with in this particular reading, because this transformation is just going to kind of flood into your life and going to just activate all of these different, all of these little points, in your life, in one way. Either at school or your vocation, for those of you who are retired, maybe your hobbies, for those of you who don't have a vocation or don't, or a career, or those of you who aren't in school, it might be a creative endeavor, might be just a brilliant idea that comes to your mind. You're going to be getting some really positive feedback. It might sound too good to be true, but it's actually true, okay? It's like somebody is sincerely giving you positive feedback, and it is true, okay? Listen to it. Is basically what I have to say. And if somebody comes over to you and gives you negative feedback, that might happen too, but that's not the part that I'm talking about. I'm talking like somebody's going to really praise you this week. Listen to them, because they are seeing some kind of talent or some kind of thing that you have that you're doing really well that you don't recognize in yourself, okay? Again, we've got transformation. I feel like this is almost like the overarching theme here, okay? Then we've got the world. I feel like you have been feeling so much like you cannot get ahead lately, okay? I just get this almost, I don't want to be overly dramatic in my language, but I almost feel this kind of despair and discouragement and this kind of heavy feeling like just can't get caught up. You just can't seem to get to that point where things are flowing, and I guess it's like it's almost like you're not able to feel secure in all areas in life right now, and it's been a very trying time. And I would imagine, based on how heavy this feels, that it could even be for weeks, maybe even months. Okay, so I do want to make sure that I put that context there so you guys know that when I'm talking about this week as being transformative and we've got the world here, I feel like there's something that's going to open up to you, probably in multiple areas of your life, that's going to suddenly get some things coming towards you that are going to greatly give you relief from whatever it is that you've been having issues with. As I'm saying this, I'm realizing the weight that this could have for some of you guys, okay? I know that there's a lot of pain right now. I know that there's a lot of people out there that are unemployed right now. I know a lot of people out there who are having issues with a lot of mental illness. And just for those of you who are watching this, years from now, right now we're going through the COVID stuff, so that's why I'm saying that. Although that's not to say that people don't go through that when there isn't COVID. But I mean, basically what I'm trying to say is that I'm saying this and also being aware that it might seem like a really dismal time right now, okay? But even though some things are going to start, you're going to have some wiggle room finally in some areas of your life, and you're going to be feeling, regardless of your religion or spirituality, you're going to be feeling very blessed this week, basically, okay? And you'll find that it's I don't know how to explain this without sounding like maybe you're angry about it, but it's like you'll find that inflames you. It makes you it makes you feel very passionate. It's almost like you feel suddenly more happy and hopeful about the future. It's almost like you're in love with your life again. You're really enjoying yourself and that kind of stuff. So it really does feel that big. Okay, if it doesn't feel as revolutionary as that is for you this particular week, just know that's where it's headed, because this is really heavy energy that I'm feeling here, okay? So things are really going to start opening up this week. So if it's not like things are going to open up and by the end of the week you're like, you're fine and everything's great, just know that this is the beginning of getting back on track, okay? And this is another thing that's it's just another one of these kind of signifiers here. We've got the mountain, which typically refers to a block. Sometimes it can be an obstacle. Sometimes it can be, really pushing yourself to get to that peak, to really work hard, okay, to achieve something, right? But what I'm seeing is that this mountain is going to kind of melt away. Whatever the block is going to melt away. It could even mean literally maybe somebody blocked you, or maybe somebody's not talking to you and then they're going to start talking to you again. I feel like that's more for just a few of you, though. I do want to add that caveat, but some block is going to melt away and you're going to have some kind of positive experience that's going to replace that. Or and this is for less of you, but this could also mean, you might experience some kind of block this week that feels like, well, yeah, maybe some things are going really well, but this thing is still in my way. But for some reason, this block is actually protecting you. It's like keeping you from, it's keeping you from getting in trouble somehow. And as a result of this block, there's something lucky that comes from it. And when I say lucky, I mean like, this would be something like extra money. This could be something like meeting a really, really awesome person. Basically, take what you value, okay? You might even want to make a list of your top 5 values, the things that your biggest priorities in its life right now, okay? Like for example, on my list, I might put my family, and then I might put my cat, then I might put making videos for the channel because I really love doing that. I might put reading, so there's some things, and it's like take those. It's gonna affect one of those areas for you, okay? It's gonna affect some of your top priorities. And I do have to say, number 5 should be myself, okay? I should be putting myself as my number 1 priority, but, sometimes we forget. But yeah, and that's why Celebrate You can come up sometimes too. Make sure that you're doing nice things for yourself, okay? Some of you guys might have birthdays this month, or this week. Again, regardless of whenever this is going up. I do have to say that the day this is going up, my cat actually is having his first birthday, so he's not around. I was going to pick him up and show him to you guys, but yeah, he's not around right now. But yeah, celebrate yourself. Do something good for yourself. And this could actually even mean something as simple as dressing up a little. If you go to the store, if you normally just go in your PJs or whatever, you just throw something on, just do something so you can feel kind of fancy. That's the kind of way that I'm getting, that's the kind of thing that I'm getting from this, is like, pamper yourself, really, is more that message. But boy, is this going to be an important week for you guys. It feels really, really, really good. So I, regardless of what the card say, I hope you have the best week, okay? But it really does look like things are going to be going in a really positive direction for you guys. And I really am happy for you guys, because seriously, it really feels like this is overdue for you guys. And, again, hope you have a good week. I'll see you on Wednesday with my next pick a card reading. And thank you guys so much for watching the video. I appreciate it. Hi, those of you who picked the red butterfly, here is your reading. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and give a disclaimer before I say this. This particular deck does have a little bit of a religious leaning. Just substitute your word for it, okay? So that said, we have some really great cards. We've got the Four of Pentacles, the King of Wands, the Page of Pentacles. Let me go ahead and put these people over here. This one next to the Pentacles here. We have talk to God. Again, talk to the universe, talk to science, talk to spirit, talk to the goddess, you know, whatever you use. Talk to your higher self, your friends. Oh, I am sorry. We have the paths and the garden. And then we have, this is called Harmony in this deck, but if you look, I just want to make sure you guys see it's number 6, and it has this black border, which lets us know that this is a major arcana card. This is the equivalent of the Lovers in this deck, and I'll hold it up again so you guys can see it a little bit more clearly. Yeah, so this is the equivalent of the Lovers. It is Harmony though, so keep that in mind. All right, so let me just kind of get a read on this. And yeah, you guys are this is another group that's going to be kind of like all over the place. There's not really a unity to this. It's more like, okay, so in this area, this, and, you know, and all of that. So let's start over here with the Pentacles. So it's like now sometimes this can warn towards hoarding or something like that, you know, or it can even warn towards greed, but I don't feel like that's the way it's coming up. Like for you guys right now, I actually feel like this is like you have guarded against something that might happen this week, or you're gonna find that your shrewdness in some area is paying off. Okay, so you did the right thing. You're going to find that you have more right now because of some kind of preparation you made. You also might be going through something this week where you're feeling like you need to prepare for something, okay? If you get that itch, if you get that feeling like, and you don't even know why, that it's like, ooh, I got to clean my house, for example, or I've got to stock up on something, or whatever it is, okay? If you get like an itch to do something, go ahead and follow that through, because I feel like there's going to be some kind of, if you haven't done it already, there's going to be some kind of major benefit, and that's this Page of Pentacles coming out, this major benefit from preparing, okay? And it'll be something that'll be like something that you haven't really experienced much in your life before, or if you have, you've only experienced it a few times. I'm saying that because the Page of Pentacles typically refers to adolescent or youth energy, young adult energy, that kind of thing. So I typically think of people who either are just starting out and just, you know, maybe they're very, very intelligent and they are mature, but they haven't had enough experiences to feel, you know, to know that they need to prepare for certain events, you know, as they come. Nothing against that, okay, seriously. And so it's like I kind of feel like it's a surprise, like, oh, I'm so glad that I prepared for this, because things are gonna be so much easier, okay? So that's an interesting, I just feel like that's a very interesting message. But it's kind of like, you know, good on you for doing that. The King of Wands here, you might be feeling I feel like your emotions might be a little bit, I just don't even know how to say this without sounding like I mean this with the most love and respect possible, but you might be moody this week, and it might even take the it might even look like you're moody and almost like over the top, okay? I feel like this kind of grandiose energy, this kind of over the top energy, this kind of larger than life energy. I mean, maybe you're an actor and that's completely appropriate. I'm not saying that it's inappropriate. I mean, it's coming up. This is the energy, you know, that you might be feeling. You might be dealing with somebody like this, so kind of keep that in mind. But I feel like, you know, appropriate or not, this is what's going to be there, okay? Be aware of it and understand that I really believe that this has something to do with your relationship or a partnership, okay? This would be some kind of divine relationship. So this would be some kind of relationship like who you're with, okay? Your romantic interest, or maybe like a family member that you have a lot of basically a lot of issues around, okay? So be aware that this could be in a very, very positive way or a very negative way. Given that we've got the Lovers and harmony is the way that this one expresses it, I feel like it's going to be positive for most of you. But just because the King of Wands can be a little unpredictable with his theatrics, I do want to mention that it could go either way. Just know that it's going to be somebody who's very important to you, very close to you. It could be coming from them too. Either way, this is very auspicious for this week when it comes to this relationship, okay? I want to say for at least 80% of you, this is going to be a love relationship, okay? So, you know, keep that in mind. Before I get here, I just want to talk about this Talk to God card. You're going to really feel like connecting with something more. You might notice that you're more aware of basically the stuff behind the veil, you know, the stuff that we can't see with our eyes, the stuff that we can't experience with our five senses this week. And you're going to be kind of, you're going to be feeling like you want to get in contact with that. It might be something as simple as getting in contact with nature and the natural world. It could be literally stargazing, right? If you can't see the card very well, it's the night sky here. It could even be that you are pursuing some religious texts that you're just learning about, or maybe some mythology, creation myths. You know, it could be anything along the lines of expanding your spirituality in some way, or expanding the lens that you understand the laws of the universe with. Okay, understand that that's a really natural thing to do right now for you personally this week, and it feels, even though we're talking about the next 7 days, I feel like this is the beginning of something that's going to continue for several weeks with you guys, okay? So just know that if you're usually not that kind of person and all of a sudden you just feel like, wow, I need to meditate or do something that maybe you don't typically do, that's the natural thing to do. I would say go ahead and do it. Try to interact with whatever it is that you feel like you need to interact with. It could be your higher self too. It could be that is simply you just need your ego to step aside and allow what's best for you to come forward. You know, I feel like this is a very personal thing though, for you, and it might not even be something that you would want to share with a lot of people. Okay, so yeah, the paths, and then we've got the garden. It looks like no matter how hard you try, like something public is going to happen. Like I feel like somebody's going to be either really encouraging you to go out, and maybe you're not going to really want to, but you're going to do it anyway, or you're going to be put in a situation where you either have to talk to a lot of people, and this could be on the internet, like being in a Zoom meeting, for example, and having to lead the Zoom meeting, for example, you know, that kind of thing. But you're in a situation where the public is listening to you, or the public is putting their eyes on you. And there's something about that feels a little uncomfortable. And so like when I'm looking at the past, usually we talk about like you've got different ways that you can handle a situation. You know, it's like a fork in the road. You know, which way do you go? This one's more like there's a fork in the road. You want to escape. You want to go with this path right here that's going this way. But instead you're brought into this kind of public space. So be aware of that. Okay, guard against it, maybe prepare for it. If you might know, if you know, for example, that you're going to be in a Zoom meeting, if you know, for example, that you have to speak in front of some people, or that you're going to be around a bunch of people later on this week or whatever, understand that, you know, you just prepare for that, because it just feels a little uncomfortable for me when I'm feeling this energy. And of course, again, we're in COVID season still, for those of you who are watching years in the future, and be careful there too, obviously. You know, wear your masks and distance and everything that's appropriate for that. All right, guys. You know, regardless of how your week is, I hope, regardless of how the cards say it is, I hope your week's wonderful. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I really, really hope you enjoyed it. I will see you on Wednesday with another pick a card reading. Hi, those of you who picked the green pile, here is how your week is going to be, we have call your spirit home. That's nice. Okay, this makes some sense, and we have a double card coming up, okay? This makes a lot of sense. We've got the Three of Swords. That's never a happy card to see, but we also have the Sun, and we have Strength, and then look at this. We've got the Sun again, and then we have, we have the Key, and then we have the Moon. Call your spirit home. This is your advice, okay? Just want to show you, I understand this says light. So this is a non-traditional deck, and this is a traditional deck. If you can see right there, those Roman numerals, X1X, that's 19. The card, this one's card 19. It's got that black border that indicates it's a major arcana card. I just wanted to show you that we did get the same card twice, the Sun. When we get a card twice, it amplifies that. It doubles the energy, basically. When we get a major arcana card twice, it's like, this is really gonna happen this week, okay? So you are gonna have an extremely positive, successful, happy, warm week. Even if you're in the path of the winter storm, if you're watching this the week it goes up, it's still gonna be warm in some way, okay? As in happy and all of that kind of stuff. So here, let's talk about this call your spirit home. That's kind of a vague thing, right? And then you've got this like three of swords. It's like, how can I have a happy week with the Three of Swords here? Well, here's the deal. You know, we've got the Three of Swords, and I feel like this is talking about past pain. I'm interpreting this in relation to every single card, though, okay? I feel like this is past pain. It doesn't feel like it's going on in this week, like it's happening this week. I feel like it's just being experienced this week. You're experiencing some pain from the past. Because of this pain. Well, basically, the bottom, like, okay. What's behind this pain is that you gave someone or something power over you, okay? And maybe you didn't mean to. Maybe they kind of pulled that power out of you themselves. Maybe you were manipulated a little bit. Maybe you were put in an uncomfortable position, or maybe this was a really toxic relationship. But somebody still has some kind of power over you. And this power is probably linked to trauma or a lot of pain at a certain point in your life. And you're revisiting that again this week, okay? And revisiting that, you're realizing that this person or this event that happened or this thing doesn't have as much power over you as you, maybe as it did when it first happened, okay? And as a result, you're calling that little piece of yourself that you lost when this happened, you're calling that back to you. You're calling your spirit home. You're calling your spirit to come. You're going to be feeling a lot more complete as a result. You are feeling more yourself than you have felt in a really long time. You're feeling like you can really shine. You're feeling like you are exuding beauty, exuding warmth. You will find yourself being very attractive this week, in that you're not only attracting people, but you're also attracting success and you're attracting positivity. You'll also come to a really, really strong understanding between yourself and whatever it was that hurt you, okay? I'm not saying that you're going to come to forgiveness necessarily, but you will come to some kind of understanding that will make it easier for you to let go of this pain. I wish I could get more specific than that, but I can say that for those of you who pick this pile, you will know exactly what I'm talking about at least within 3 days, okay? Because we've got 3 major arcana cards, 2 of them have doubled, but this is a major time for you, okay? So I see a lot of personal growth, I see a lot of reflection, but I also see a lot of abundance here coming towards you and a lot of success as well, okay? So yeah, we've got the Key and the Moon. The key is almost like it just opens up all of the possibilities to you. So that's another thing that's really great about this, with the success and the warmth and the understanding and calling your spirit home, getting into your power and all of that. I mean, these are really big things. Like even just one of these things happening in 1 week would be a big deal. But having all of these things happen in 1 week, it just feels like you are making leaps and bounds towards becoming a more whole person. I feel like you're really going through some kind of, I would feel like this would be more towards the end of a transformation, okay? And you're starting to reap those benefits from some really serious soul work you've been doing. And things are going to start opening for you. The things that you felt were locked away, the things that you were thought maybe you didn't have access to, will suddenly become available to you. You'll be experiencing abundance. And part of this has to do with the energy you're putting out when it comes to your job and your reputation. But for others, it's a little bit more like the cycles in your life where it's like you're breaking free of those cycles and you're starting a new cycle. Okay. And I feel like that's just, putting it that way is going to make sense for those of you who that resonates, who that will be the answer. Okay. For those of you who that's like, what are you talking about? That isn't for you. Because it's really, really hard to explain unless you're going through it. Basically. I mean, sometimes we'll be in a situation where we'll be doing the same thing over and over and over again, and this will be the time where you finally break out and you're not doing that anymore. You're finding a new way of experiencing life, coping, whatever that is, okay? That's what I mean by that. But yeah, it's going to really affect... you know how I said your reputation or maybe your job, and that kind of stuff? It's going to affect who you are. And it's not just something that you're experiencing internally, but other people are noticing it about you as well. This is a really beautiful reading for you guys. This is a really, this is really great. I know a lot of people that need to have this kind of week. I know some personally. I really hope that this is a very, very accurate reading for you, because this kind of stuff needs to happen more often. My goodness. One thing I can say that I didn't say, because it's kind of a given, but sometimes the really obvious statements are ones that people need to hear, is that it's like you are coming to the end of suffering. You're not going to be suffering so much from whatever it is that has hurt you. I'm not saying all of your suffering's over, but I'm just saying that something that has been really like a fixture in your life for pain is going to be taken care of this week. So that is really great. Okay, guys, regardless of what the cards say, I hope you have a wonderful week. And I really appreciate you guys watching. Thank you. And also, I will see you on Wednesday for the next pick a card reading. Hi, those of you who picked the white butterfly, here's your reading. Okay, so we have Love Your Body. Okay, we have the Six of Wands, the King of Cups, the Hierophant. Okay, we have the Bouquet, followed by the Fox. And then we have Patience and Planning. That's interesting. Okay. All right, I feel really ambivalent about this. That's why I'm pausing. I'm trying to kind of pick up on where this energy is coming from. If you hear that meowing, it's one of my cats. Let's go ahead and just start here. And when we come to here, if I need to, I'll ask a clarifying question. We'll pull some more cards, okay? I don't usually do that, but I just want to make sure that this message is clear. Wow, there's going to be something very, very positive going on. And I want to go ahead and say in your love life this week, it would be very, very hard it's hard for me to imagine these two cards coming up and having it not have to do with your love life. It could be a family member, but basically what I'm getting is that you're feeling really proud of somebody, and you're feeling like you're a very, very successful. There is some kind of passionate feelings there too. A lot of admiring. Somebody has accomplished something and they're very proud of that too. You know, I feel like this kind of goes double ways as far as like both you and whoever you're interested in, your partner, you know, someone special in your life, okay? And then we have this person or someone coming forward with their feelings for you, but this feels romantic to me. It could be somebody, it could be something like maybe you're successful and maybe you've really, really needed the approval of a parent, say, or an older brother or even a younger brother, you know. Maybe you need somebody to tell you that they're proud of you, and that's coming through. But it feels so much like it's more romantic that I want to throw that both in, okay? But I am getting that kind of feeling of pride there, that I'm proud of you, you're successful, you're doing a good job, that kind of thing too. Okay, so I want to mention that. The Hierophant, it could have to do with school, okay? Because the Hierophant does talk about kind of going out in the world and learning. Okay, so this could be also a rite of passage, like a graduation, you know, something like that. So again, you know, that would make sense why a parent would be coming forward with that, or a relative of some sort saying that they're proud of you and that kind of thing. For me, it feels though more like it's somebody that you study with, somebody that you somebody who's either a colleague or like-minded, basically, somebody who you have met and shared a lot of ideas with, that it maybe might typically, maybe that lights a fire in your life that makes you feel kind of passionate sometimes, and they're coming forward and they're being very emotional with you. Maybe they've been holding back and they're coming forward, this week, and they're telling you how they feel, and what I'm getting is that this patience and planning thing here, sometimes this comes through as like needing some help, but we're going to read this the way that this is a non-traditional deck, right? So we're going to read this the way that this card says, right? Which is patience and planning. I feel like this success that you're experiencing is the result of being patient and very deliberate in your actions. It's almost like you set out an intention, and because of the work that you've done, you're receiving this you're receiving this positivity there, okay? So yeah, kind of keep that in mind. So the bouquet followed by the fox. The bouquet can sometimes be a gift, okay? And it can sometimes be, it can sometimes represent beauty, okay? I feel like for most of you guys, this is going to be a gift. It's going to be a gift that's most likely coming from a colleague, okay? The fox can sometimes show up as a kind of a sly person, though. But I feel like this is a colleague or somebody that maybe you work with, okay? Might be giving you a gift, or might be putting something together for you, because you know how bouquets, they come together, that kind of thing. Or maybe somebody at work is interested in you. It could be something like that, like they see that you're attractive and they want, you know, maybe they're interested in all of that kind of stuff. Or school, okay, for those of you who aren't employed, or maybe somebody who you excuse me, maybe somebody who you are you know, maybe you take a class with, you know, maybe you have a hobby with, you know, that kind of thing. You don't necessarily have to be employed to have this kind of, you know, relationship. But I'm getting another kind of darker meaning here too, that I think is really important to communicate. And that is that this could be somebody who's flattering you to get something for themselves. What's really weird is that I don't feel like it's the same person that's coming forward with their feelings. I feel like it's a different person. Or if it is the person that's coming forward with your feelings, this is kind of like a warning not to give them any kind of gift. Like like with the fox has to do with working, right? So don't give them a gift of money. And I know that that's kind of like really, like for those of you who know what read the Lenormand and know it, that's, you guys might be like, wait a minute, that's not what that means. Just getting intuitively that somebody might be coming back in your life, right? Or might be coming forward in your life. And they might also be in a situation where you're just so excited about this, that, you know, that they're going to ask you for some kind of help with something or some kind of gift, you know, or something like that. They might need money and you might feel particularly generous. I would say to steer away from that. This feels a little bit dark here. And as much as I'm talking about it, I actually do feel like maybe 40% of you, that's who this is going to apply to. So maybe not even half of you guys. But I'm getting it so strongly that I just want to make sure that I cover it, because it's just really important. Love your body. Now, I understand I'm projecting a little bit because I have really been needing to get better about my own exercise routine, so please don't. I'm not calling any of you guys names or anything like that. If you haven't been exercising or taking care of your body, you know, very well lately, eating correctly, you know, or eating healthy for you, you know, that kind of thing, make sure that you're giving your body extra care when it comes to that. Make sure you're getting enough nutrition, getting enough water, getting enough, if not exercise, at least being active. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself in a way that, you know, like you're pampering yourself when you need to, getting enough sleep, that kind of thing. If you take medications, make sure you're taking them at the right time and you're following the instructions there. You know, if you have symptoms of sickness, make sure that you take something to, you know, help those symptoms. You don't have to suffer through them. I'm just getting that there, you know, it's not just about taking care of your body. It's about loving your body. Like it's almost like falling in love with your body. Given the kind of passion and stuff that goes around that's coming with this, some of you guys might be really loving your body for a different reason. But what I'm getting here is a little bit more like, this is more independent from everything else. Like, you know, be aware that you need to take care of yourself in some way. Okay. And it's really on a physical level. Oh, it could also mean that you might need to get some kind of checkup, maybe see a doctor about something, and all of that. I'm not a doctor. I cannot give you any kind of advice there, but I'm just saying that sometimes comes up with this card. That said, you know, just be aware of this might be cast in a dark light, but really, this is going to be more of the focus this week for you guys. A lot of success, somebody coming forward with their feeling, you're learning a lot. It's like something's really paying off, you know? It's like you're getting some sort of reward for all of this planning, and it's like maybe you've been waiting for something to happen for a while and it's finally going to happen, that kind of thing. So it looks like you're going to have a really good week. Regardless of what the cards say, I do hope you have a good week. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you Wednesday with another pick a card reading. All right, guys, thank you guys so much for coming to the end of the video to see what I have to say. I just wanted to tell you, for those of you who are wondering, yes, I am wearing my nightie. It's kind of like this Victorian type nightgown. And I'm wearing it because it's been a hectic week so far. It's been a hectic weekend and week. I'm in the path of that winter storm that's just all over the United States right now, and I do want to mention that because I don't know how reliable my electricity is going to be. I found out that the power company in my state might be doing this thing. I don't know what it's called, but it's kind of like rationing out electricity so that everybody can get electricity, because basically everybody's heating their houses really, you know, basically everybody's using a lot of electricity right now to stay safe, right? And so they might shut off electricity in my neighborhood so that people in other neighborhoods can get enough electricity, and then shut off, you know, basically, you know, maybe for an hour or so. Basically, that might affect how I upload videos, okay? And I just wanted to let you know that I'm trying to get these out on at the right time, okay? So when I say I will see you on Wednesday, I'm saying that as long as no major electricity issues happen, I will see you on Wednesday. For those of you who have readings that are due, well, no, I don't have any readings that are due today, but anybody who has a reading due tomorrow or the next day that I haven't gotten back to yet, you will get your reading on time. That's my priority. So just make sure that you know that is, if you've booked with me, I will definitely get that first, okay? And then I'll do the video. For those of you guys who are my channel followers are like, wait, what? It's just I gotta prioritize, and that's just the way that I'm gonna do it this week. When I have my electricity running normal, then I'll be doing it the other way like I usually do. But just wanted to let you guys know that. Other than that, I don't really have a whole lot of news. I'm just going to be honest and say I still don't know what I'm going to do for Wednesday. I kind of have this feeling that it's going to reveal itself to me as far as what the video is supposed to be. So I don't know what this is going to be, but it will be a pick a card reading. It'll probably go pretty deep. It won't be a real short one or anything. All right, guys. That said, thank you again for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I put videos up regularly. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any. Leave me some comments letting me know what you think. Leave a like. It lets YouTube know that I'm putting forth content that other people might be interested in, basically. All right, guys. So thank you so much. I will see you very soon.